And a good Saturday morning to the sports fans of Lincoln and Logan County. You're in the cheap seats here on 96.3 WLCN. We are very fortunate enough to have Coach Howie Fuiten with us, the new head coach at Lincoln Community High School on the girls' side of basketball. And first of all, Howie, thanks for being with us and coming into the program this year as a new head coach. You may be the new head coach, but obviously no stranger to the program, a freshman coach, JV coach there in 2008, and a longtime varsity assistant. Coming in as a new coach, you want to rebuild. One of the things that you wanted to really stress this year, I guess, was rebuilding that reputation and getting Lincoln back to their winning ways. And it's kind of an extended question, but ultimately what you need to look at, what are some of the things you're going to focus on this year to get the reputation and the morale built back up?
Well, the first thing we have to do is just do things the right way and hustle, look like a basketball team. We need to just be together as a unit, not do, freelance and do our own thing, instill a continuity offense. On defense, know what we're doing. Start at the freshman level, run the same thing all the way through, have a program, not just three teams under one name sort of thing.
Yeah, I think, go ahead, Cameron.
No, that's a very interesting point. That was actually going to lead into the next question. You talked about starting at the freshman level and then working your way up, and that's something that we see a lot more often in sports now, especially at the high school level. You take a varsity coach and you work with some of the younger programs, this freshman and sophomore levels. How closely do you work with the coaches at all the different levels to make sure once they get to the varsity group that they're running the same offense and they're running the same type of plays?
Well, it's been tough. Mike, I haven't done enough yet. The plan is eventually, I got hired in August, obviously, and we didn't start. I couldn't do any summer things. But the plan is eventually to be with each team as much as possible, instruct. I know we're going to have a coaches meeting every Sunday. We're going to get together, talk about things. Coach Shanley is going to travel with me as much as he can. He's trying to pick up what we're going to do, and he's going to insert it into the freshman program. Coach Rucker, we haven't had enough time. Fresh Soft started last night. They had their tournament as well. So this past week I've taken my kids over, so to speak, with the varsity court. Coach Rucker's had his kids on his court. The plan is eventually to run all of it together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Coach, you obviously, I've known you for a long time, an LCHS alumni, played sports back in high school. Was this always something that you always wanted to come back to Lincoln? I know you got your position at the high school as far as teaching and doing some other things, but was this a position that you always hoped when you got back to Lincoln that it would come up for and that you were going to be, diving right in for it?
Well, not necessarily a head girls basketball coach, but I've always wanted to be in coaching in some way, playing sports, obviously. Baseball is my first love. I love baseball. I love coaching it. But once I started coaching girls basketball, I got a passion for it and enjoyed it. And I was a JV freshman coach for a long time, and I kind of saw what I wanted to do. And so, yes, it was, after I started coaching, something I wanted to do, and I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to do it.
Sure, and I've read some things in articles that you've been in, and even talking with you had these girls, even before high school. There were some maybe some traveling teams, some junior high level. Was that a factor that you knew this class was coming in, the senior class, this junior class that you had worked with before? Was that a factor in saying, yes, I want to do it because I know these girls, I know their ability, I know their work ethic, and now I can become kind of reacquainted with them back on the court?
Yeah, they're all the great thing about these juniors and seniors is they're all great kids. They have great families. I can't say enough things about them. So having an opportunity to work with them, yes, they're all great. They're coachable. They work. They're a good unit. They work together. They believe in one thing. So yes, getting back with them was something I wanted to do. I know that if I say something, they're going to do it. They're not going to question it.
Right.
And that's a very important thing as a head coach, to know what you have coming in. I wasn't coming in blind in a situation that wasn't the best situation to walk into.
You talk about that situation, walking into it, and being hired later on in the summer. What's the biggest obstacle, though, coming into the season as a new head coach with a program that's only had one win in the last 2 years? That's got to be pretty challenging.
Yeah, it is. It was. Yeah, getting a mentality to play the whole game and not to quit and not to be down and think that it's over. To play the whole game through, to hold the whole practice through. You know, we do a new thing called 4 quarters. It's a challenging conditioning thing. We do it at the beginning and end of practice. It's a defensive slide, a karaoke, a sprint, a back pedal, all the way through the court, and it's hard.
Sure.
And we try to get that to the kids that we're playing 4 quarters, and if we can get that from a practice to a game, getting the kids to play 4 quarters is the hardest part, the hardest thing to do, and to believe in themselves and that winning is not, as we can do it. It's not something we can't do.
Right, and how, I guess, how receptive has that gone? You know, it is tough, like you say, coming in from a coach in the previous couple of years that just couldn't get it together or couldn't get things going the way that you know, maybe Railer fans or obviously the athletes want also. You know, they're not out there to lose every game. They're out there to have fun and win and do that kind of things. How receptive have they gone from being the old ways of 2 years, 3 years ago to the new way that Coach Fuiten wants them to be out on the court?
It's hard to say. We could do it.
Well, you can't change overnight either.
No, exactly, and it's part of it. Is they have to buy into it and do it, and we will get there.
Sure.
I have no doubt in my mind that we played a team last night. We're going to play again in 3 weeks, and there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to be a 5 or 10 point game, not the result we had last night. And they're going to get there, and it's going to be a process of turning the corner and going full speed ahead.
Sure.
So
You talk about getting full speed ahead and using the words that you have there, and you've got a lot of the girls who have played together themselves, a lot of the girls that went to the same grade school together, that were on the same traveling team together in the summer. Do you think the cohesion that these girls have had, some of them who've been playing with each other for the better part of 5 or 6 years now, do you think that has a lot to do with their mentality and just the way they conduct themselves on the court?
I certainly hope so. They know the right things to do. It's just getting it together with all 8, 9, 10, 12 kids that are going to play. And that core group of kids that have been together will be leaders, and hopefully we can get it all together, and they will follow and go in that direction.
Coach, you talk about building a program, and it's something that, you know, like Coach Alexander has done. There are coaches throughout the state that have excellent basketball programs. You talk about Taylorville and basketball that most of the time are a powerhouse. Springfield High School is going in the Central State 8. But have you had, and I know you haven't had the opportunity because you've just been hired, you're trying to get this season going, but is your goal, one of the things is to get that system implanted in not only the high school but going down to the junior high levels? You know, we're here in Lincoln, we're very fortunate to have a lot of coaches at the junior high level that maybe either play at Lincoln High School or friends of coaches that coach at the high school, and they're very willing to implement what you want done, put it into the junior high level, so it's a very smooth transition going from Carroll Catholic or going from West Lincoln or Chester East, wherever you want to go to junior high, Lincoln Junior High, right into being a Railer for Coach Fuiten.
I think it's going to be good. My wife coaches at Carroll. That's going to be obvious.
Hey, you can't. That's. I mean, you can go home and tell her you got to do this.
I'm trying to do that. And I just found out I didn't know Todd Keeler's coaching out of Zion. Grew up with Todd, played with him for a long time. That'll be good.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the junior high coaches. I'm going to get together with those guys when their seasons kind of come to an end. Get together with them, talk to them. Obviously, this year I couldn't get together.
Sure. Yeah.
And I didn't really want. Didn't feel like being a first-year coach. It was my place to step in and say, you know, this is what we have to do.
Right.
I think that eventually that's going to be the case. Get them all together, kind of have not a clinic like Coach Al does, but some basic offenses, some basic terminologies. Because I know that when I was a freshman coach, I'd say elbow, and none of them knew.
Right.
They all came from different short boards, just different basketball things. The back door.
Yeah.
They call it different things at different schools, and they all come in. They don't know what they're talking about.
Right. And that's perfect. Small steps to lead to one. Maybe you have a camp in the summer, or you know, things, and maybe some of those junior high coaches could be helpers at your camp. You know, things like that, or ways
get
that
their
you can
kids
build.
involved.
Exactly.
That's part of what we want to do.
Perfect.
In the Central State 8, it has to be fielding a competitive conference this year on the girls basketball side of the program. Springfield High School has definitely got to be at the top of the list on the girls side, a program that has a couple of state tournament appearances under their belt. Going in each and every year, they seem to be a team that has they're very gifted. They have size, they have strength, they have speed, and it's be interesting to see how Lincoln's going to match up about that. Kind of your thoughts on that.
Coach Scheffler has a great program. He started, I'm not going to compare myself in any way to him, but he started out 10, 15 years ago with a program that was basically kind of where we are right now. And the way he runs things is what I eventually want to get to.
Sure.
Obviously, he has the athletes to do that, but he runs a great ship. He does everything the right way. They're year in, year out. They're very talented. He demands the best out of them. He gets it. His record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely, Springfield High School is what they are, what we want to strive to become.
Yeah, and the whole Central State as a whole, you know, is a tough basketball conference. You know, it's you've got Springfield and Chatham, Sacred Heart Griffin.
Southeast is very good.
Mentioned Southeast. I know. I think actually saw on the news the other night a girl from Southeast signed at Wichita State to, I believe, run track. Was it run track or basketball? Basketball, wasn't it?
Basketball.
Yeah, basketball. So you've got another, you've got another Division I talent right in our conference there. Coach, talk about. Let's get down to your team a little bit. Let the people of Lincoln and Logan County know what you've got, what they want to come out and see. Are you senior based? Do you have a lot of young girls? Some things that they can look forward to come out and watch the Railers.
We're going to be a fun team to watch. We have 6 seniors, not a lot of experience. So Audrey Cruz is our leader on the court and off the court. Some things happened this week off the court, and she stepped up, did a great job leading. As well as Ashley Paulson, Gracie Wood. Those are our 3 leaders as far as the senior class goes. So we're young, even though we have some seniors, or junior class. Your sister Megan, Angie Ruff, Melissa Cooper's going to get a lot of time. And then our sophomore class last night, we had Alyssa Stevenson played a lot of the game. Courtney Boward and Emily Johnson played a majority of the second quarter. All 3 of them played a lot. So we're young, and we are young in age as well. And we're going to try to get up and down the court if we can. We're going to take care of the ball. If we have shots, we're going to make them, and we have to rebound. So we're young all the way around.
Right.
They're going to play hard, and that's one thing I'm going to get through to them in the next 2 weeks is they're not going to quit.
Right.
And they can't quit, or it's going to be a long year.
Sure.
And they have to do it for 32 minutes, and that's what we're going to preach is 32 minutes. And it's going to be like I went out and watched the fresh soft tournament last night, and the whole way through we have to play 32 minutes. It's got to become a mentality that we're going to play 32 minutes, not half a game.
Coach, what's been the biggest surprise, something positive that you didn't know about these girls when you started in August, that you've gotten to this point early on in the season, through practice, basically just one game, but what's something that surprised you about these girls that you really didn't know coming in?
They're a lot better offensively than I thought they were.
You can't beat that. That's a good problem to
absolutely. Meet the Railers, we put up 50 points and Meet the Railers. I was shocked. Not shocked, but coming from August, how good we were. We could put the ball in the basket if they have confidence. When they shoot with confidence and relax and shoot the basketball, we have 28 kids out that can play offensively. I didn't realize we could have that.
Good.
We're going to step aside, take a commercial break, and when we come back, we will have Coach Neil Alexander in the house with us. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Cheap Seats on 96.3.